They aren't giving actual details. They're giving enough details to create victims, but not enough details to accurately assign blame. My name is Taylor Rose and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about some fresh off the press book community drama. Editing Taylor here. So I just want to clarify that these aren't my personal opinions. Obviously everyone is entitled to their own. Over the last week, book threads and book talk have been in shambles, basically, because of this conversation that was happening over on threads. And you can see the post that instigated everything here. I swear she had made another post shortly before or after this, but I can no longer find it. Maybe someone else has it. But the post that I can't find specifically named an indie published book that has since gotten a trad publishing deal. Basically, you can see her lending credence to the idea that people are going to like AI generated books. Immediately, you can see the top response to this was someone naming a book that meets this description. Obviously, that is a narrow scope of people that now all these readers are going to target and think this is who she was talking about. Some other authors did respond agreeing with her, saying they don't agree with using AI, which, like, I totally agree with you, but then they start getting defensive because people are upset about these posts because they are vague posting. They aren't giving actual details. They're giving enough details to create victims, but not enough details to accurately assign blame. And you can see her big response to people being mad, right? Are authors baiting the internet with vague posting, or are we sounding the alarm as safely as we can because we see the very real end to our professions coming at us like a freight train and are refusing to lie down and take it silently? Are we signaling our resistance to every grifter licking their chops at the idea of an AI cash grab? Are we praying our publishers do the right thing and value the long-term survival of our entire industry over immediate profit? And no, I don't think you're sounding the alarm. We already know this is happening. This is an active conversation across book communities about how AI is infiltrating. All these authors that are posting together about this have turned this conversation onto the reader, while in the same breath agreeing that there is no tell to AI. How is the average reader, any reader, supposed to know whether or not a book is written by AI unless there's a prompt left in or the author admits to it? There's no other way to tell. You cannot tell. Despite what all the little theorists online are saying about AI writing, you can't tell. It's not like visual art. So Megan B. writes, who honestly is my hero across these comment sections, she says, "You guys are baiting the internet because indie authors are now getting accused and this isn't okay. Just name drop the person. If you truly refuse to lie down, you just drop the name." And I agree. They want the whistleblower aesthetic and they don't actually want to be a whistleblower because then you get in trouble. So there was someone, author Ashley Godchild, who was posting like, "You guys are crazy. Why are y'all overreacting like this?" Who then, as she learned more about the situation, did come back and be like, "Since posting this, I've been corrected that a trad author did in fact heavily influence, if not begin, the indie witch hunt. My bad, y'all." Which, good for her. But I did like a lot of responses to her thread. This other author, Jess Wisecup, "With a platform that big, you have to monitor your comment section. Saying a recently trad acquired indie book used GenAI did nothing but make people speculate and name drop in a comment section that she let fester. With a platform of that size, you have to be responsible for it." You do. The problem is she went vague, which is in itself annoying but fine, but then said it was a self-pub turned trad book. Then said that authors needed to stop using self-pub and tropey sludge to back away our door into trad. Which, the post that they're talking about, I don't think was specifically aimed at self-publishing, but it was aimed at the grifters who see AI as an easy way to make a buck. One thing I did not like, so you can see here, the issue is how vague they were being, not speaking in complete generalities, but dropping vague details along with a "you guys need to act" tone. They should have given no hints about the book at all or should have waited until they felt they could share proof. And this author responds, "I get that, but shouldn't we always be acting? Shouldn't we be on our guard against AI anyway? Is the problem this energy is being directed in the wrong direction?" Yeah, it's being directed in the wrong direction. There's nothing readers can do. I hate to say it, there are lots of bad books that got traditional publishing deals. And for some reason, tons of people like them. And people are eating it up. You know what I mean? When the tell is bad writing, there are lots of bad writers. There are lots of readers who don't care about bad writing. There are lots of people who think they're good writers and they're still bad writers. There are good writers who think they're bad writers. You know, like that's not an indicator. Especially when personal opinion is such an integral part of reading and consuming media. They stirred up a lot of energy with no clear direction other than indie published romantasy book that got picked up recently by Trad, then acted shocked when people started throwing out names that fit the description, and even more shocked when indie authors got offended at some of their language or scared about all the speculation. You targeted a small group of people by vaguely incriminating them and then wonder why they're upset with you. You're basically saying trait A is true about that person, so I think this negative thing is true about them too. They indie published, they probably used AI. That's the implication you're making. You can see all these people speculating, allegedly, is this book. I don't know. I agree with Shivani Reeds. The Whisper Network should have stayed amongst you authors in your group chats and not put out publicly on social media when the vagueness can only do more harm than good at present. The fact many of you have stayed silent when watching various indie authors' names get dragged through the mud based purely on rumors and guesswork your post stirred up and are happy to keep going wait and see when you know damn well it's not going to be made deliberately public, it's shitty, right? It's baiting. You doubling down and refusing to see how you sounded the alarm could have been different. Your refusal to acknowledge the problem, even if unintentional, that was created, not all but partially, by one of your posts. And the blatant disrespect towards indies as you brush off all listed above is not a good look. And readers are watching. I agree. I don't think they're bad people. Scrolling through their profiles, I agree with a lot of the things they're saying about other topics. But they did this badly and are doubling down. And you can see a lot of them are coming up and saying stuff like, sounding the alarm safely. Don't get mad at authors for vague posting because of legal reasons, when we're rightfully sounding an alarm and asking readers to remain vigilant and for support. Even if it's not this book, it's going to be some other book. The AI monster is out of the cage and we're just using our voices to try and protect generations of writers before we can't be heard anymore. But you're not sounding an alarm. You're targeting a specific definition of a person and acting like you didn't just send the wolves after them. We know AI is a problem. You should be advocating for things that we as readers can do. Are there petitions? Are there books that are openly AI that we can choose not to support because we know they were made with AI? Definitively. No, we're getting mad at you for sounding an alarm while providing no details, leading to rampant speculation and potential witch hunts against authors much smaller than you. What you're doing is hurting the book-selling industry as much as accidentally letting through a book with some AI. Are there probably a lot of AI-generated indie-published books? Yeah, because the barrier to entry is really low. That is a feature. If we let traditional publishing control what books actually get it out there would probably only be books by white men, largely. That's what's out there currently. Page Melt made a good point, right? For future reference, if you want to blow the whistle on your industry, and absolutely I believe you should, there are many reputable journalists who would be interested in what you have to say while protecting your identity. It's not foolproof, of course, but sometimes doing the right thing requires taking a risk. Yeah. And, of course, the first author she says, this is the hope and what is being encouraged. Encouraging what, girl? We don't have the insider knowledge. That's why whistleblowers are from the inside. That's why companies make you sign NDAs, because you have to be in it to know it, to have the details. Until you share them, we don't have anything. I'm supposed to go to the journalist based off of rumors on the internet? No, you need evidence. Y'all are acting like you have evidence and then are backtracking. Oh no, we can't say anything for legal reasons. While I understand authors are scared to outright say the name, if they have a reliable source and proof, then it should be shared rather than just giving a vague thread post. Yes. People sue. We don't want to get sued. Then don't say anything. Don't say anything until you can. Find a journalist who will take your accusations seriously. Use your evidence to actually call out the people who are the problem. And some people are saying we're being mad at the wrong people. But it's like, we're not mad at them for talking about it. We're mad at them for being obtuse about why their approach was wrong, why their approach was dangerous. And this person, if AI was stealing my job and livelihood, but when I spoke about it, I'm told I'm the problem, I'd be raging too. We're not saying they're the problem for talking about the issue. You'd be dropping names instead of watching everyone witch hunt innocent authors. If I knew someone was using AI, I'd be telling the world, not keeping it a sneaky secret. Exactly. And then they're being obtuse too. Can you show me where an indie author was hurt? All the comments accusing them, all the comments on their social media asking them if it's true. Ugh. The irony, authors sounding alarms about AI's ethical quicksand get more backlash than the hucksters actively flooding the market with AI slop. Civility policing protects the exploiters, not the exploited. Silence is complicity. Keep yelling. If we see AI covers, there are ways to tell. You can report it at that point. With writing, there is no tell. We need other evidence to know for sure this person is using AI. And then we can take action. You can't just be like, it's those indie authors. The grifters would be receiving the ire if we had any evidence and names. Instead, we have vague posts and the people in the know, not shutting down the conversation when innocent titles are being accused. Yes, we can't give ire to names that aren't known or without evidence. Vague posts don't really help us see what the situation is about. We don't know the author. We don't know the publisher. We don't know who their agent is. We don't know who is responsible for letting this happen. And then to go on and say, well, we need guardrails. What guardrails do you think would work? Instead of just stoking the flames, you're the one who has the insider knowledge on how this process works. You can make suggestions. You can lead a charge toward an actual grifter, instigator, instead of pretending like you didn't just sick a bunch of internet trolls on innocent people. And of course, back in the comments, are more ways to tell if something's AI. The M dash. That isn't something that's comfortable to just type out, at least for me. It always cracks me up when people who aren't technologically savvy choose to shit talk something that they don't know anything about. And I'm glad some people kind of chewed them out. You literally hit the dash key twice with no spaces and it auto formats. Every word processor does it for you. You don't need to type it out. If we were talking about some sort of weird accent mark on the Mac, they're largely pretty easy. But when I had a Windows computer, I would have to go Google letters with accents and copy paste what I wanted because it was a pain in the butt to remember the little code. That's not at all what an M dash is. And you don't need to do any of that to type it. This hurts me on so many levels, not just my love of M dashes, but I don't know how to do it, therefore it's not a thing humans do. Word automatically creates the M dash when we type 2 hyphens in between 2 letters and hit the space bar after the final character in the set. It's not a secret tool. And do I think mechanics are liars because they understand engines and I don't? No. And all of this when there is an actual AI book being published and promoted everywhere. We'll talk about that in a different video because I'm a little heated, but someone on my last video about AI commented that they guess I don't want the cure to cancer being found or something. I just want people to die. And that is not it. Generative AI and the AI used to do pattern recognition for medical and scientific purposes are 2 totally different types of AI. Fun fact. And this post popped up on my threads that I was like, oh, this should have been my response, right? I want AI to cure cancer. I want AI to clean up the ocean. I want AI to convince billionaires that maybe they should spend their money on homes for the unhoused and for the food insecure. I want AI to lead to a universal basic income so no one has to worry about money anymore. I want AI to troll J.K. Rowling so hard she decides to go into hiding forever. I did not want AI to be involved in art, entertainment, or the creative process at all. The end. That kind of sums up my thoughts on AI usage, but I'm just really disappointed by this entire argument that happened online. I get it. When someone accuses me of being wrong, I feel defensive. That's a normal human thing. But when you have a large platform and people are using your words to go attack others, you need to learn how to admit that, hey, I should have approached the situation differently, and I'm sorry for any harm I caused. Well, that is all I have for you today. I will see you next time.